All right. So that is the 10 minutes speaking. So let's get started. So let so let's get started. Okay, let's go. So what advice do you have for college graduate? So let anyone you to apply for a job at Solar City or Tesla or SpaceX. And if not, then if that doesn't work for whatever reason, then apply the jobs at other companies in that arena or try starting a company. If you study engineering and you figure out how to design new things, and then it's relatively easy to start a company. You just need to get a few lot of like-minded people with you, and that the business is quite. It's hard to start a company in my business, but it's such a capital-intensive business. So it may be better to do something in solar power, or if you're gonna do it in cars, so you can kind of common supplier for cars or something like that. Or something like that. Most have degrees in business and physics, but his first venture in aerospace. How did you get to the ability to be chief technology officer of a rocket ship company? Well, I don't have a physics background. That have fun as a foundation. And talk a little books and talk to a lot of some smart people. Don't just follow the trend. You may have said it's good to think in the terms of physics approach of first principles, which is rather than reasoning by analogy, boiling down to the most fundamental truth you can imagine, and you reason from there. This is a good way to figure out if something really makes sense or just what everybody else doing. Okay, feel way about everything. It's not our effort, but you trying to do something is new is the best way to think. As framework was developed by physicists to figure out quantitative things like quantum mechanics, so it's a really powerful method. Just want to know what is the one thing that has brought you about your life. Well, simply it's about the whole thing. Honestly, it's really difficult to wait for any of these things to happen. Honestly, um, yeah, I know I wanted to be involved in technology. Um, and in fact, our reason I started the company back in '95 is a the networking was because I couldn't get in. If we did a companies, I couldn't get a job at any of them. Um, I just got a job at Netscape and I sent my resume and then try to hang out in the lobby, but I go to try to talk to anyone. And it was like, okay, well, I guess I have to start a company because I get a job anywhere. Thank you. I wouldn't say I'm fearless. In fact, I feel fear quite strongly. But I am. If the work we're doing isn't important enough, then I just override the fear. So every time I thought I don't fear, I feel fear like more stronger than I look like. So this is the advertisement for 15 seconds. Okay, just apply for it. I think also people tend to overweight risk on a personal level. That's one thing that you got to a Malta to pay your kid to support, and if you work to debate from your job that how are you doing go to feed your family and to pay the rent. Okay, that's understandable. But let's say you're young and you're just coming out of college or high school or whatever. What do you want to do? What you risk? When you're gonna stuff. I mean, it's really something not in any kind of modern economy. So it's easy to earn enough money to just live in somewhere and eat food. I don't know what other people like, what they are afraid of. They're mostly afraid of failure, I think. People should be less risk averse than when they're not as much as at risk. what is the education like? Basically, downloading data and algorithm into your brain, and it's actually amazingly bad in conventional education. So that is huge job. Like more you can gamify the process of learning, the better. It's great process because we're trying to figure out what does it all mean, what does the purpose of things. And I came to a conclusion that if we can advance the knowledge of a world, and we can do things that expand the scope and scales of consciousness, then we're better able to ask the correct questions. We become more enlightened, and that's really the only way forward. What drives you? What is it when you wake up in the morning to see a problem and you want to solve it? Um, the things that drives me is that I want to be able to think about the future and feel good about that. So you know, doing what we can to have a future be as good as possible. Um, to be inspired by what is likely to happen, um, and to look forward to the next day, to the next day. That's what really drives me is trying to figure out how do we make sure that things are great. And I'm gonna be so, and that's the a lot of people behind Tesla and SpaceX. Is that I think is pretty important that we accelerate the transition to sustainable generation and consumption of energy. But it is inevitable, but it matters if it happens sooner or later. And as method is about helping make life multi-planetary, um, and do what we can to continue the dream of Apollo, and ultimately make contribution to life becoming more about that. I think everyone is very interested that if we say making life multi-planetary, yeah, that's exciting. It is exciting. So what the reason there? I think particularly for Americans, if you think about it, America is a nation of explorers. You come here from other parts of the world that choose to give up the known in favor of the unknown. Um, so I think as expression like the new state is a distillation of human spirit of exploration, and that why this makes American so much. You know, because it is when it's a sort of charity and 7 people died. And that's terrible what a lot of people die all the time. But we care so much because it was a dream of aspiration that was dying along with those people. That's why. My thought was Tesla and SpaceX would fail at the beginning. But you thought, yeah, sure. Really? Of course. You realize you put all your money in them. I expected to lose it, and well, basically, what I thought was, well, I have some money from PayPal, and if I lose half of it, that's okay. And then, of course, the companies encounter difficulties, and then I have a choice of either like let the company die or put all the money into the companies. And so, yeah, I really wanted me to die, so I put all the money in the companies. Yeah, I didn't have to borrow money from friends to pay living expenses. Yes, you're just looking for evidence of personal ability and this is a track record of personal achievement. And it's likely that will continue into the future. Possibly depends on the stakes. If the stakes are high, if it's really important, and then you want sure to then overcome the fear and just do it anyway. And essentially, I mean, I just override fear, but if you fear, it's ki- it's kind of it's kind of annoying. I wish I didn't. I wish I felt less. It's kind of annoying. I wish I didn't. I wish I felt less. Okay, so that's the end of this 10 minutes speaking for today. See you again in the 30 minutes speaking and the 20 minutes speaking French. I'm gonna prepare some stuff for the French speaking. Yeah, sure. Okay, bye guys. Have a good day.